in a brief kind of snippet, what is Age Allies as a program?
Oh, come on, George, in a brief snippet.
What was the question?
About Age Allies.
Blimey, yeah, what's that?
Anecdotally, for years we've been hearing older people report negative experiences. And the Age Allies program was kind of designed as a way to influence people within organisations in London to try and improve older people's experience as they go about their daily business. The City Bridge Trust funded Age UK London for 3 years so that we could go into, working with older people themselves, go into organisations and run workshops to help them become more aware of their own attitudes to age and ageing, with a view to becoming generally more age-friendly. Working with a small group of older people, we developed a series of exercises, and we tested those over initially a series of 6 pilot workshops, and continued to test and learn, and these exercises have evolved over the whole lifespan of the project.
I came across Age Allied in the Evening Standard, looked at the title of making London a friendlier place for old people. I thought, well, that's a pretty good idea.
I got an email saying, would you like to come and learn about our workshops and participate in one, which I did and which I enjoyed. And I thought they were great and innovative and a way of learning things in a fun way. And I just carried on.
It's somewhere to go, you know, because us poor lonely old gits, we don't know what to do with their days.
Working on developing and delivering these workshops with a group of creative older people was incredibly helpful. Their understanding of this has developed over the last 2 years, as my own has. And we've worked together as a team. They come with ideas, I come with ideas, they challenge my ideas, things change.
I felt that Age Allies were fantastic. I really like the fact that we were not just talking about older adults, they were part of the conversation.
What stood out most for me would be the people that you meet at these workshops, the people that have faced the issues that we discuss in age diversity.
It's good to be challenged by the people who are in a position of experiencing the effects of other people's attitudes to age and ageing.
Quite a few people definitely said it's different when you actually speak to someone and see them than just seeing the photograph. I'm quite active and move, and so they thought, some of them said, oh, well, I think you're younger now than I thought when I just saw your photo.
There were some people who sort of reacted to me that you're not as boring as I thought you were going to be.
I had quite a few conversations with people in their 20s and 30s who, after I said what I did, often got the response, oh, that's really cool, it means that makes me feel so much better. You mean I can still do stuff when I'm older? And I'm going, yeah, of course you can. You'll still be you.
I found out some very good information. It's changed the way I look at myself as an older person, and certainly other people as older people.
I didn't know as much about ageism as I thought I did.
I found it really interesting to do because obviously we're quite an age-positive work environment. We're very aware of those kind of issues. But then at the same time, doing the workshop, you start to realise even if you think you're quite an aware person, you may still have some of those unconscious biases.
When we use the term unconscious, we're not talking in a Freudian sense. We just mean it's stuff that they don't know that is informing their behaviour and their attitudes. There's a continuum of ageism, one end of which is hostile ageism, and the other end is benevolent ageism.
I think what I took away from the workshop was just to be a bit more conscious about the way that I would maybe interact with older people. Even if you think you are someone that is conscious of those things, there might be some things that could be hurtful or discriminatory towards them, that you might not have thought of before, and just to be more conscious of those things is really important.
I was slightly depressed by the number of people who said, oh, it's all right, I work with old people, I know everything about them, I know they're not boring, I'm not ageist. And I thought, are you sure? You know.
The reaction to the information that I passed on back at work was great. I mean, everyone at MPL is interested in bringing the course to them and making it something that is available to everyone at MPL so that we can really make this known across the whole business.
Even going back to work, talking about the workshop, even talking to my mother, asking her about her experience or her views about ageing herself, and having that conversation, which I never really had before.
It's jaw-dropping the amount of people that don't mix with each other. It struck me, and I'd never given it any thought, how few young people I meet.
It's good for younger people and older people to talk to each other more and find out what they're doing, and it changes the whole perception of older people as being there's some sort of distant other, you know, making everybody see that young people and old people are individuals and have individual needs and individual characters is really important.
People are individuals, but as well as that, there are different needs and cohorts within that, and there isn't any reason at all why older people can be artists and creative and active and engaged just as much as anybody else.
After about a year, we found that people who were attending the workshops were responding really positively and taking a lot away from them. What we were having difficulty with is getting people to have a workshop in the first place.
Yeah, so getting people interested in what we were doing, that was fine. Getting the information in front of people, that wasn't a problem. Getting people to actually sign up for a workshop, that was a whole other thing. So one of the key bits of learning from the Age Allies project is that people are unconsciously ageist, and we realised that if people were, then organisations would be as well. And so how do you get people to sign up for a workshop for a problem they don't realise that they have? On top of that, we knew that if there were businesses that did know they had this problem, they were not going to start shouting about it by publicly signing up for one of our workshops. So we had to change the wording. We had to start talking more in terms of equalities, more in terms of corporate social responsibility, and that saw real changes. We started to get way more sign-ups than when we were talking more in terms of come sign up for our workshops and we'll help you deal with the ageism problem that you don't know that you have.
City Bridge Trust were very helpful and allowed us to change the parameters of the programme so that we could spend more time on raising awareness. We did that through a lot of social media work and also by running some events. The first big one that we did was at LSBU, and we had more inquiries about workshops following that.
I think the event's gone well, it was packed, and I can hear positive reactions.
The most fascinating thing I learned today is that we actually create our own stereotypes from when we're young about what it's like to be when we're old. And I was thinking back, like, yeah, that is real.
And this year we did 3 days at Tate Modern as part of the Flourishing Lives event. We reached hundreds of people. I think there were over 2,000 people over the 3 days. And we connected with a large proportion of those. And in a very gentle way, I hope we began to get them to think about their own attitudes to age and ageing. I don't know. See, it's really tricky. I think it needs a lot more work with other people, creative people, about how we can take that learning and spread it out into other areas, like working with the age sector in general about how we message and campaign. I think that's really important. How to incorporate it into all the messaging that we use, the understanding about the psychology of attitudes to age and ageing, and the effects that it has on people. So what would I do with it? I just keep banging on about it, talk to everybody. Thank you, George. Pick the bones out of that.